Hello, these are my hands. And would you believe that was a notification sound? I recently had the honor of collaborating on a one-night art exhibition where I could only use WhatsApp notifications to create an immersive live ambient soundscape. We'll go over how and why that all came together, as well as the gear chosen to make it happen. Long story short, my wife Laura is a talented visual artist who has been working tirelessly on a series of impressive drawings called Screen Time, capturing people lit only by the screens of their devices. To commemorate this work, she partnered with the Gladstone House in Toronto in conjunction with the Design TO Festival for a one-night immersive exhibition aptly called Screen Time Notified. As part of the proposal, Laura suggested we collaborate, with me creating a live ambient soundtrack for the event on the spot based on notification sounds received from art viewers who were communicating only through their phones via a group WhatsApp chat. Of course, this meant if the audience didn't engage, I'd have no sounds to work with, but that risk was part of the immersive fun of the event, and it worked out in the end. Painstakingly rendered in colored pencil, Laura's Screen Time series of drawings range from 12 by 12 inches to 5 feet wide and feature subjects of all ages and demographics lit only by their chosen device. The resulting stark chiaroscuro lighting is reminiscent of the Renaissance masters who imbued their subject with intrigue and ambiguity by only using a single light source, like a lamp or candle. In keeping with the theme of the pieces, it felt apt to ask viewers only to engage via text at the event, to both strengthen their connection with the subjects in the drawings, as well as to provide me with sounds to work with. The result saw the familiar chimes embellished into a reverberating ambient soundscape that was at times soothing or ominous or jarring depending on the flow of conversation. To keep things simple, this is the entire rig I brought with me that night. For extending and regurgitating the notifications, I thought this newly purchased Montreal Assembly Count To 5 pedal would be ideal because of its pitch-shifted delay capabilities. And my recently acquired Bliss Lost Found is a Swiss Army knife of all kinds of different effect combinations, including some that can reverberate forever. Both of these went into my trusty Zoom L6, which also recorded the entire 2-hour event and received the notification sounds via this old phone connected to USB and used to monitor the group chat. You'll notice a lack of synths or noisemakers. That was by design, to give myself no means of overt creation and let the incoming sounds do the work. Like I said, if there were no notifications, there would be no soundtrack. The good news is, with the feedback controls maxed out on the Count To 5 and Lost and Found, even if I only received a single chime, I could stretch it out for a while, which did happen early on as we waited to see how badly Toronto's recent snowfall would deter people. While there were some attendees who didn't quite seem aware that it was the chat causing the music, and they just seemed to appreciate the general ambience, a good few did catch on, and it was a lot of fun to watch them get excited as their messages caused the latest flurry of delayed and pitch-shifted chimes. In fact, I could see some people maybe even typing more because they knew of the relationship. Let's try an example. For initial rehearsals of this idea, Laura sat next to me and sent WhatsApp messages that I could test with. But to save her the trouble, I eventually started using a simple notification timer app, a repeat reminder, that would send alerts at whatever interval I set up. In this case, I've got it set to 10 seconds. So now, in about 10 seconds, you'll hear a chime come through and be filtered through all this various gear, which are mostly set to kind of delay or repeats. So there you go. Now I can mess with the feedback if I want to extend that. And there's another one. I'll turn the timer off now. And for added spice, the count to 5 is also sending to the Lost and Found via aux 2. And the Lost and Found has both mono input, stereo output, and spread settings engaged via the dip switches for added stereo width through the PA system to keep the room feeling full and varied. I played around with various effect combinations on the Lost and Found initially, but ended up mostly sticking to the tape echo feeding into the grain tumbler. For the count to 5, I pretty much stayed in mode 1 for maximum pitch shifted repeats. And as a bonus, I rode the effects knob of the L6 to add onboard hall reverb as needed if I wanted to extend things in times where notifications were few and far between. All in all, the event was a rewarding challenge in collaboration and immersion that resulted in many inspired conversations. It was also a lesson in keeping things simple for me, as I tend to overcomplicate my live setup sometimes. So this was a lovely, if harrowingly compact, change of pace. Laura's art also went over very well, and a few of the larger pieces will remain on display at the Gladstone for the winter. This wasn't the first time I'd been asked to provide the live soundtrack to an art event, but this was the first time it felt like a reciprocal conversation between the art, music, and the viewers, which was pretty special. Have you ever been part of an event like this, art or otherwise? What gear would you have chosen? Let me know in the comments. More to come, and thanks for watching.